Hello, everybody. Welcome to Amazon Music City Sessions. My name is John Weigel, and we're live on the Amazon Music Twitch channel. I want to let you know before we get started, there's a QR code on your screen. If you go ahead and scan that, it's going to take you to a page to buy Måneskin's new album, Rush, on vinyl, which is super exciting. But right now, let's talk to the band. Hello.
Hello.
How are you all doing?
Amazing.
Yeah. You look great.
Thank you.
You look red.
Thanks. You too.
Looks really good. So, I don't know if you remember, we talked about a year ago.
Of course.
It feels like so long ago, and I feel like so much has happened since then, and you got a new album out, came out last week. How have you just been feeling this year in relation to last year?
Well, it's been quite crazy. Sometimes we even forget, and then we think about all the things we've done, and we're like, wow, that was already 1 year ago. But it's been like a crazy journey, and we're so happy and proud of all the amazing things we've been doing. And now finally we got to release the record, which was a bit like the biggest thing for us, because already 1 year ago we were already working on it, of course. So it feels now like the accomplishment of all the work of these past years, and that we finally get to share.
Yeah. Have things been going by really quickly for all of you? Because I feel like with all the appearances you do, with all the shows you do, your tour schedule has been pretty nuts this past year. How has it been in that regard? Is it going very fast? Are you finding that you have any time to kind of soak it all in now and then?
No. No, we're still on the train, and the train is running pretty fast.
Wow.
But the whole year, but I think the last 2 years, I would say, has gone very, very fast from us. And as Victoria said, sometimes we don't even realize the amount of things that we did in such a short time. So I hope, like in a short time, we'll have some time to think about it.
Yeah. I mean, talking about time, I feel like you're four very unique individual people, and you all have your own schedules and your own way of doing things. How do you find that you manage your time all together in terms of, getting together to practice or writing music, especially since you're on the road so much nowadays?
If we have even 2 hours, we rent a studio and we go there.
2 hours?
Every time,
Wow.
every time. Sometimes we did it in between to promo things or
Oh my God.
It's pretty hard.
Wow. In those 2 hours, do you tend to write, or do you just kind of jam out and just...
It depends, because sometimes we have some songs that we wrote during the tour or stuff like that. So we just pick up that songs and we try to jamming all together on that song. And sometimes we create a new song, but we don't finish that song. So it depends.
Wow. Oh my God. Do you see a big difference in songs that you write on tour versus songs that you write in a studio?
Yeah, of course.
Oh wow. Okay. What are the big differences? What do you notice?
I think the most heavy or punkish songs we get to write during the tour mostly, because it's where you get a lot of the energy from the crowd, you know? So I feel when you write music on tour, it's always more energetic.
Yeah.
And then when you get your alone depressed moment, you write the ballads.
Speaking of going on tour, I saw you play at Lollapalooza this past year. I was in the crowd, probably third or fourth row or something. I got pretty close. It was really great. Exciting day for me.
Cool.
Very exciting day for me. But I thought you all delivered probably one of the best performances I saw that weekend.
Thank you.
And for all of you kind of continuing with playing live, and I feel like playing live is such a big part of your journey and a big part of your set and performance. How do you keep your passion for playing live? When you keep doing it so many times, how do you keep that fire inside?
I think that it's actually the easiest thing to do over and over, because even if you play the same set list, the people in front of you always changes, and they always give you something different. Of course, there's more or less always the same reaction, and to the more sad songs you have that reaction, and to the more up-tempo song you get their reaction. But every audience is different. Even 2 nights in the same city, you see different reaction, you have different feedbacks, and so getting that energy, it's what keeps us energized and makes easy in a certain way for us to play many gigs in a short amount of days.
That explains why you go back and write some aggressive songs afterwards to keep that energy up, right?
Yeah, you need that.
Exactly.
I think last year when we talked, spoke a little bit about Eurovision. I'm an avid Eurovision fan. I watch it every year. Now, y'all did something really, really impressive, which I feel like Eurovision, you know, a band wins Eurovision, which doesn't happen, especially a rock band winning Eurovision doesn't happen often at all. But when you win Eurovision, there are a lot of bands or artists that win it and don't necessarily capitalize the way that you have, and especially internationally and in the States, don't really have that capitalization of going through the next step and becoming an international band. Does everything right now, your success, does it seem as sweet and amazing as it is from the outside? Because like when I see you guys, I see like, you know, what a story, right?
Yeah, it is.
No, it's crazy, especially when we get to think back to all the things we've done and like maybe how we, I don't know, started playing on the streets and we're like so young and stuff, and now like even during gigs sometimes you have like that moment of realization where you look in front of you and you see thousands of people and you're like, what the fuck, like I'm in Japan or in America or I don't know, and there's thousands of people coming to see me, and it's surreal like to think about. I think you never get used to it probably.
Yeah. And talking about rock bands too, I feel like, you know, I'm a big fan of rock and metal music, and you are probably one of the only mainstream huge rock bands today. How do you feel being a part of the rock scene, especially here in the States, and having fans from, you know, your fans could be like 50 years old, your fans could be 20 years old, 10 years old. It really runs the gamut. How do you feel about all that?
I think that in general... I think that in general, like we feel like we're more that in the rock anthem or something. We feel like we're getting recognized by big artists, by the top tier of music internationally. So every time we get that kind of recognition, we're so happy. And of course, then if you talk about rock and roll, we had Tom Morello playing with us. We had Iggy playing with us. We had Metallica congratulating to us, and same thing with Guns N' Roses. We had a lot of huge bands congratulating with us and telling us that they like what we're doing, and you really feel validated, and you really feel like you're doing something that someone that has done it before you and 10 times bigger than you, if they recognize it, if they say that you're good, it's a pretty good coin.
Yeah, I was going to say, when I saw Tom Morello on Gossip, I was like, oh my God. Like, 'cause I feel like everybody's been having that moment and seeing you for the great band that you are and kind of giving you praise. And it's really great to see that. Now, working with Tom Morello on Gossip, I understand you all got in a room and just kind of jammed together. Thomas, I want to ask you, as the guitarist, how is that for you playing guitar next to Tom Morello?
It was sick, of course, because I grew up with lots of band, and I grew up also with him because he's a monster, basically. So it was super
He
nice.
stopped eating for 3 days.
Exactly, that's the truth.
Just joking.
Exactly. You're right.
He was shaking.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh my God.
I was like, oh my God. No, but I mean, I think that when you have the possibility of just jamming with this huge legend, you can also like learn a lot about the way you have to play or the gears and the effects or stuff like that. So for me, it was of course like literally a dream, but at the same time something that give me like more more consciousness, I will say, and more power about also.
You good?
Yeah.
Someone's falling over there.
Everything's fine? Okay, cool.
Nice. But yeah, I mean, it was super sick, because it gave me lots of consciousness and power to play, you know, the guitar in my instrument, to know more my instrument. I will say that. So that is very important.
Now, after this experience, he will make even more solos.
Yeah, exactly. That's the vibe.
Now every time we write a song, it's like 10-minute solo because Tom Morello does it.
Exactly.
We have to agree.
Tom Morello said, "I'm good, so I deserve a solo."
Exactly.
Yeah.
And the solos on Rush are really incredible. I think my favorite one is on Loneliest.
Thank you.
I think it kind of also has some Tom Morello quality to it.
Yeah.
Was that an inspiration?
Yeah, because I mean, he's like the pioneer of the whammy pedal.
Oh yeah.
So basically, I take lots of inspiration from him and experiment a lot with that pedal, and it was very natural, because I remember that when I wrote that solo, it was very like yeah, it was very natural. It came out in a very natural way because I just like in 4 minutes or stuff like that. Because I just like jamming on the track basically. So it was super fine.
Oh, so cool. I also kind of in that area, I got a question from the chat about future collaborations. Is there anybody that you are excited to work with or are interested to work with going forward?
Yeah, there's many artists.
Yeah, there's a lot of
hard
artists.
to pick. We have a different taste.
Yeah, very different tastes.
Something very weird will come up if we
follow
if we listen to everyone. Yeah.
So, to everyone, yeah.
If we are democratic, we screw things up.
Who would each of you choose? If you could choose somebody.
You start.
Okay, maybe I would pick Stevie Nicks.
I will pick Metallica. The old band, like
The whole band.
two bands together. You know, I will be sick.
I would pick probably Rosalia.
Rosalia. Okay. Like
Wow.
of nowadays artists or like
No, alive.
alive? No, of course alive.
Like still working.
Still working. I don't know. Okay, still working. Because I was about to say Paolo Nutini.
Oh,
He's
I
still
love
working.
Paolo Nutini.
Is this-
Oh my god.
is
He
he
released
still
an album.
working?
Yeah, he
Okay.
released an
Oh yeah,
album.
he just released a new
like
album
Yeah.
recently.
6
I love
months
him.
ago. Yeah,
Man, he's
I
stellar.
love him.
he just started.
His
Wow.
voice is crazy.
That's awesome.
Great.
Yeah, you're right. That would be a really weird song, but it would
Yeah,
probably be pretty
yeah,
good
yeah.
though.
Metallica and Rosalia.
Summer
Paolo
hit.
Nutini.
I don't know what we can
And
do.
Stevie Nicks.
We should make a summer hit with like the reggaeton drums and
Yeah,
Metallica
Sean Paul,
voice lines.
Perfect combination.
Deadly combination. Deadly combination. Yeah, that's more correct.
Now to talk about Rush a little more, right? I know it's a 17 song album, and a lot of different songs came together in different ways. It sounds like. I heard a few of the songs you've had for years, a few of the songs you wrote last year or the year before.
Yeah.
Talk to me about the album writing process, and was it any different from other albums or
definitely.
EPs?
Yeah, it was like very different because we tried to, I think during these years, of course, we all developed and grew as also for different people, you know, so we all have our individual tastes and discover new music and bands and stuff that we were inspired and influenced by. So when we got to the studio, we couldn't really at first have like one meeting and common ground that we wanted to pursue everyone. And then, but we still wanted to do something that felt right for each one of us and not force anyone to do something that felt too different from what you feel, you know? So we tried to, like, usually we'd all get in the studio together and jam until we found, like, something that was perfect for everyone. And then from every little part, go through the whole song. Well, this time we tried to, like, trust each other a little more.
Yeah.
So maybe if Thomas had an idea, we would all like follow it, even if we didn't like it. But then in the end, it turned out we made many more songs in this way, of course, because we were less stopping ourselves and less critical, you know. But then in the end, when we ended up having like 50 songs and we listened back to it, and maybe one of the ones you hated the most at first became your favorite, and the one you liked the best then didn't even make it on the record, you know, because we learned that like by not give a judgment immediately to a song, we would like let it sink, and maybe your opinion also changes. So we learned a lot, and we were very diplomatic. So
Yeah, it sounds like it. I mean, out of 50 songs, I mean, it must be so interesting to see all 50 songs, like kind of, because you probably had to record like a rough recording.
Yeah.
All of
We got
those.
it. We got it.
It's probably way different when you're all on a song versus one person's vision and one person going on
Yeah.
a song.
Definitely.
Definitely. And for this album too, how did you find you each push yourselves a bit? Because I feel like this album, it has some of the best choruses specifically that I've ever heard from you guys. It's fantastic.
Thank you.
How did you each kind of push yourselves and go an extra level? Because I really felt from each of you like the level was a little higher on instruments, on vocals, all
you.
of that.
I think that's because of that. Like having each one of us the chance to really get into his idea instead of having to change it to make everyone happy, but having the chance to work on a song till the really end. I think it allowed us to like show not the full skill set, but like more skills that than the ones that we shown before. So like I can talk for myself. In some songs I had the chance to experiment more with the melodies, because I maybe in some songs I wrote the whole melody without having the instrumental, so I was completely free, and then we put the instrumental on it, and same, sometimes we did the complete opposite. Sometimes they had the full instrumental, and I just had to put vocals on it. So I felt very, very free to dig into all the melodies and all the lyrics. So I think that's why for each one of us shines through something more than in the previous records.
Yeah, I will say also that for me it was like a challenge, be versatile with my instrument to the different songs. Thanks to the, I don't know, the pedal, the gears, and also with the part, because I had like to, you know, write a part in like in a very punkish song, maybe a rockish song that is more like in my I don't know, it was like
in your style.
Yeah, in my style, exactly. And that was a cool part of the record, I would say.
Yeah. I saw, speaking of the record a little more, I saw somebody in chat mention Gasoline, which is probably one of my favorite songs on the record. For that specific song, Victoria, tell me about your bass line in the opening of that song.
Yeah, I think like we tuned the bass so much, it's like two steps down, so it was like the string was like going loose, but because we listened to a lot of also like electronic and techno music, so we felt like we wanted to do something like with a hard bass line and stuff. So we tried just to play a lot with the sound and to tune it very low and have this kind of rhythmic going on, and then the whole song came very naturally.
It's drop C, isn't it?
Yeah, it's drop C.
You kill it.
Drop C.
Isn't it?
Bum, bum, bum.
Isn't it?
I also want to note to chat, everybody watching, they are going to perform later, so I see what you're saying. And talking about performing, I did see a question in there about your favorite songs to perform live from the new album. Could you each give me your favorite to play live?
Cool Kids.
I don't know, because we have to also to make the rehearsal for the whole record, to be honest. So
of the ones you played, they didn't know anyway.
No, okay.
You're a snitch.
I mean, yeah, but no, I will say probably Blah Blah Blah. It's really sick.
Oh yeah.
It was unexpected for me, but Baby Said it's one of the coolest to play live.
Yeah, Baby Said is very hard for me to play, actually. So I think...
so it's not my favorite.
So
you hate it.
Least favorite.
So we're not going to play it. We're going to cut out from the set list.
And, I don't know, I would say maybe Zitti Buoni.
From the new one.
From the new record.
From the new one.
He's so good at promoting.
All-time favorite.
It's always new.
Always thinking. Got to promote the last records too, you know.
Maybe okay. Blah 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 as well.
Blah, blah, blah. Very cool.
It's very funny.
Ethan,
it's very hard.
Yeah, while we're talking to you, Ethan, I do want to know, because this album, I felt like you gave every song exactly what it needed on the drums, and I felt like you met everything perfectly.
Thank you.
I feel like some drummers like to do a little too much, some don't do enough. I feel like you did the exact amount that was needed on every song.
You think so? Oh, thank you.
Yeah, I too think so.
Thanks.
How?
I appreciate that.
I guess, lack of a better question, how did you do that? How were the drum recordings on the album? How did you figure out each song as you went? And possibly, what were your favorites to record in the studio?
Okay. Well, my favorite to record ever, I think, is Time Zone.
Yeah.
It was very funny to record. And also to write. And like basically what I thought about my drumming to put inside the record is it was more about like to be tight, because they all are very like intertwined sometimes. Like Baby Sass starts with a guitar riff and a bass leaf like literally intertwined, and like the one sometimes you can lose it, so you need a kick or like a rhythmic that puts you in time again. And I just had these reflection, and I thought that the more like tighter was the drum, the better. So I just tried to do something easy, but like necessary in sort of way, but easy at the same time. Yeah. Because I don't like drumming there too much. I actually like come from jazz drumming, so like it's all the jazz drumming is like that, and also like progressive stuff like Genesis, Phil Collins. It's like is very hard drumming and very sophisticated and stuff. So I also try to put some feels with my drumming with this attitude, like prog and jazz attitude, but still like make it tighter and easier and stuff.
Oh, yeah.
The truth is, sometimes this jesting really comes out of him, and when we're rehearsing, he will do like crazy
Sometimes it
stuff and
happens.
make us all go out, and then
Yeah.
we're like, Ethan, that's not. And he's like,
We're not
"Why?
improvising.
It's good. It's just this weird composed tempo or something we don't even know, and we're
It's
like,
not 5
okay,
on
but we're
7.
out. Sorry.
I would like to see a jazz drum album, Ethan.
Will be sick.
Hello.
You on the cover.
I have
Yeah.
the title.
Why not? I love that. I love that.
And kind of going down the line here, Damiano, you kind of mentioned a bit earlier that you tried some new stuff on this album. And I really think that your voice changed a bit, and you started hitting some notes that I just didn't expect you to hit, right? In the
Higher.
terms of higher, but also in places that I never saw you work before. Talk to me about your vocal technique for this album. How do you feel like your skills have changed, and what do you think changed them?
Can I be truly honest?
Absolutely.
I have no vocal technique. No, for real. I never studied anything. It just comes from instinctively, and then like a few years ago, I took a few lessons to avoid screwing up my voice. But I don't really know how to describe the way I use my voice and stuff. I just know that it sounds this raspy, not because I sing with the throat, but because I have a hole in my vocal cords. So very cool. but yeah, actually, in some of the songs, especially the ballads, I just try to keep the voice cleaner. Try to put out some of the raspiness and trying to I don't know how to say it in English, to use more the false corde, which I really don't know how to translate
That sounds
in
much better
Italian, so
anyways,
please
probably.
Google it.
do it by yourself. I tried new techniques, and also like the whole album is just higher than the previous one, so I was kind of forced to do that, but I actually kind of feel more comfortable on these higher notes than on the mid ones. So good. I hope I'm gonna sing it good on tour.
Speaking of tour, I do have some people in the chat asking about when you're coming to North America for your tour. Are you thinking
Wait,
about that
be
anytime
patient. We just finished.
soon? A large portion of the album is in English, and I'm sure you've gotten a lot of questions about that. Obviously, a few great Italian songs, La Fine, for one. But for most of the record, writing in English, how is that for you in bulk this time?
Well, actually, it's like something a lot of people asked us about, but like our first EP, it was all in English. And when we started playing together, we like hated doing Italian songs and stuff. So it was kind of something that we had to learn, like being in the Italian industry and everything. And now we just felt like we were talking to a international audience, of course, so we wanted everyone to understand what we were saying, to speak more clearly to them. But at the same time, now the Italian part is also a part of us, and we love it, so we want to keep both. But I think also being around all the time English speaking people and traveling so much and being with English musicians and stuff, it kind of inspired us to naturally just write more in English. But it isn't really something that we're sad about or thought about that much. It's just we feel represented in both ways, so we
great.
don't really mind.
Do you find it more difficult to write in English, or do you find it easier? I feel like
It's easier.
Yeah,
For me, it's
right.
easier because it's my second language, so I don't judge myself. I let other people do it.
Now, also for this album, you had a lot of songs that were a bit more aggressive, kind of like what you talked about, maybe songs you wrote on tour, and other songs that were a bit softer, Time Zone for one.
Yeah.
What is the writing process like for a softer song? Because I feel like when I picture you all in the studio together, you're all just wailing on instruments, you're banging a guitar, banging a bass. For the softer songs, how do you find a moment to all sit together?
I usually
Thomas and
woosah.
Damiano kick us
Yeah,
out.
we usually me and Thomas. Yeah, we get
That's actually true.
intimate.
Exactly.
We get
moments.
some comfortable clothes, we spray some perfume and then we're ready to go.
Kiss, make out, and ride.
Yeah, we kiss very, very gently, French way, and
Candles.
and then we start.
And we use also to smash like a little tiny instrument, you know, but in a gentle way.
like kids instrument.
Exactly.
No, but
And
yeah.
then when they're done, they allow me and Ethan back in the studio.
Yeah.
We try to play on it, and they're like, soft.
Wait.
soft.
They're like, no. Wait.
Let's
You have-
wait.
you
wait
have
a
to-
minute. Come in off.
You have to wait at least mid-song to start the drums.
They're like, okay, fuck you. And then
No, it's a bit more difficult because it's something that like maybe Vic and Ethan, they have it a bit less in their DNA, but they're getting to it.
punk.
Yeah, Vic has no feelings. Like she hears the most romantic song and she's like, "Where's the solo? Where's the drum?
Instrumental.
Yeah, where's the distortion?"
For the solo.
Talking about Victoria a little more, I would like to know about the album cover shoot. Tell me about that day. Tell me about jumping over everybody. Did you land on it?
luckily
Tell me
it
why
was
you're
not me.
smiling
Oh,
so
it was
much.
not you.
No. I was under enjoying the view. Yeah, it's another girl. So.
It's another girl.
I think it would have been very
I thought
unlucky.
it was
If I had
you.
to jump, I would probably fall over all of you. I'm not very good at sports. So.
Also, I know you guys are Grammy nominated this year. Congrats.
Thank you.
Very, very exciting.
Thanks.
I can hear the applause from the other side of the
Yeah.
streaming session.
Yes!
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Now I feel better.
There
Thank
it
you.
is. How do you feel? Obviously, I mean, elated, but how do you feel about being Grammy nominated?
Happens sometimes.
Whatever.
You know,
You wake up and you're
they just tell your name. Like, no, not a big deal. No, I mean, I think it's the biggest thing that could happen, especially to a non-American artist, American and English, let's say, to European country, to European artist. So yeah, it's very, very big for us. It's hard for us to realize it, and but it's in a week, so we have to. And no, it's going to be a very special night. We really, really hope to win. There's a lot of people say, no, I don't really care. We care to win, okay?
So
And,
vote for us.
So vote for us. I don't even. It's very hard to explain it. Like, everything sounds super cheesy, but we are very, very happy. We really don't know how to describe it.
Mm-hmm.
And we're gonna see some very, very cool people perform live. So
Oh yeah.
totally.
Last few things here. I feel like every year you continue as a band and you work together, and maybe you're so in the weeds sometimes that it's hard to sometimes appreciate each other. I want to know from each of you, what are some of your favorite things about working with each other specifically?
Nice.
Oh, that's cool.
Nothing.
I hate you.
nothing comes to my mind. I'm
No
still
good
thinking about it.
quality.
Still thinking about it.
Okay, I can start.
Let's go.
So you have to be
I'm
nice
scary.
back to me. That's why. Okay, I think about Eden, I really enjoyed that he's like always like the sweetest, and even like when we all fight and we're like, no, I don't like this, I like this. He's like always like diplomatic and tried to calm everyone and give everyone space, and he's just like very caring about how everyone feels. So it's always cute and puts a good environment.
Aw.
And Damiano, I think it's very cool because he is very creative and he has very like strong opinions. So when he like leads like the process, is just like fascinating to watch because you can see like someone fully expressing themselves and coming up with a lot of ideas.
She never told me that. It's first time.
I know, because they're forcing me to be nice.
Only lines
I'm coming up. I'm making
And
it up.
I,
now.
unfortunately, Victoria, I have some very bad news for you.
Oh, okay.
Nobody's going to be able to be nice to you right now
Exactly,
because
probably.
we got
I'm
to
sure,
wrap.
Like the reports will be.
You gotta rap.
Vic is funny.
Vic, she's very, very energetic.
Thank you.
Yes.
So Thomas didn't get his, but you know I love him.
Everyone loves Thomas.
Yes.
Of course.
And talking about energetic, we're going to get ready for y'all to perform right now. Thank you so much for taking the time to talk with me and chat. Once again, the vinyl is on sale right now for Rush, so go buy that whenever you can, as soon as possible. And we'll be back in a few minutes with Måneskin live.
Yoo-hoo.
Yippee.
Creepy, and we're back.
Thank you. Thank you.
No, sai che stavo pensando a un certo punto. E la foto da sotto erano cazzo e palle che penzolavano.